Alright, listen up. I'm about to drop some truth bombs. So here's the thing. The world doesn't need more people fitting in. It doesn't need more people just playing it safe, hiding behind masks, conforming to rules that don't serve them, or worrying about how they look in other people's eyes. The world doesn't need another cookie-cutter version of the nice guy. It needs you to stand the fuck out, to own who you are. And when you start owning who you are, it's like oxygen. You need it, you breathe it, you live it. The moment you realise that, your whole reality shifts. Now let's break that down. Own who the hell you are. Yeah, who you really are. Beneath the layers, beneath all the external bullshit. The voices in your head. The shoulds, the musts of what you think you're supposed to be. You know, the ones that keep you small. But here's the secret, those voices, those insecurities, they're not you. They're just echoes. The real you is powerful, it's magnetic. It's here to be seen. And once you stand the fuck out, you become unstoppable. You've been playing small, haven't you? Maybe because you thought you weren't enough. But here's the truth, you're not broken. You're whole. And if you could just see that, really see it, you'd know how powerful you are. You've got this huge potential, but most of it, it's locked behind old beliefs. Maybe you've been hiding. You've been afraid of rejection, afraid of what people might think. But here is what you need to know. Those people, they don't define you. And their opinions, they're none of your business. You know why? Because every time you shrink back, every time you try to fit in, you let them steal your power. So I'm going to ask you straight. How long are you going to let them decide who you get to be? Let's dive deeper into this. And I'll tell you how it works. The truth is, everything is energy. What you put out is what you get back. Your thoughts, your actions, the vibe you radiate, everything you think is inevitable becomes your reality. So if you think you're not worthy, that's exactly what you'll get. Situations that reflect that. But if you think you're amazing, unstoppable, and you wear that shit like a badge of honour, you'll start seeing life unfold in ways that'll knock your socks off. Opportunities will open up. People will gravitate towards you like a magnet. Why? Because you're owning it, really owning it. Here's the catch. You're the one creating that. Every single day, every thought, every decision, you create your world. You get to decide. And you're not consciously deciding if you're letting the world decide for you. Guess what? You're letting them own you. You're letting their beliefs, their judgments, their fears run your life. And that's a road to nowhere. So let's pull you out of that rut. We're going to break those chains of limiting beliefs. We're going to give you the keys to unlock a life that feels authentic, powerful and unbreakable. You're going to own who you are, like it's the air that you breathe. And guess what? It's easier than you think. Let's get real for a moment. Do you think the world is waiting for permission to let you shine? Hell no. It's waiting for you to stop asking for permission. It's waiting for you to step up and say, this is me, this is who I am, and I'm not backing down. You see, there's a real science behind this. Your state of mind determines your reality. It's like a superpower that you didn't know you had. When you're in a high energy state, when you feel confident and alive, the universe literally rearranges itself around you. People notice you, you radiate charisma, and that energy is contagious. You know how when someone walks into a room and you can feel their presence, like they own it, that's you when you stop hiding. Now the fear of standing out, yeah, it's there. But here's the thing, fear is just feedback. Fear is a signal telling you, you're about to level up. Every time you push through it, every time you break through the wall of discomfort, you grow. And growth feels like power. That fear is like a red light. You've been taught to stop at it. but it's just a signal for you to go faster. And when you stop letting fear run your life, you'll notice that the things you were once terrified of are now nothing more than stepping stones to your next level. But let's talk about why you haven't been doing it yet. Why you've been holding back, playing small, staying safe. It's not because you can't. Hell no. It's because your brain has been trained by past experiences, by other people's fears, to think that staying small is the safest option. But that's the lie that we've been sold. Because staying small doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you stuck. So here is what you're going to do. Interrupt that pattern. Every time that voice in your head says, don't do it, that is when you take the action. You feel the fear. And you move forward anyway. And here's what happens. When you break through that fear and take that step forward, you don't just change your life, you change your identity. And guess what? Now you're a different person. You're the person who steps out, who stands tall, who takes massive action. And the universe will respond in kind. It always does. You're always in control of your reactions. Always. No one has power over how you respond, how you show up in the world. When you claim that power, when you realize, you get to decide how to respond, not the world, not other people. Then you become a force, not a passive spectator, not a pawn in someone else's game, but a player who's making moves, who's writing their own story. And damn, it feels good. Here's the big one. What's the cost of not doing this? What's the cost of not owning who you are, of not standing out, of staying in that cage that you've built for yourself out of fear, self-doubt, and old patterns? It's a life unlived. It's a life where you're just going through the motions, where you're not even scratching the surface of what you're capable of. It's the karmic price of inaction. And that price, it'll haunt you. Not in some woo-woo way, but in the form of regret. In the form of what could have been. And you don't want that. So what are you going to do? Stay small? Stay safe? Are you going to own it? Step the fuck out and live the life you're meant to live. You've got this. You've always had it. Now it's time to let the world see it. And when you do, you won't just change your life, you'll change the world one step at a time. Breathe that in.